Hey guys, Gary here, and today we're going to talk about water fasting. So first of all, what is water fasting? Well, water fasting is essentially a period of time where you abstain from food and only consume water. Generally speaking, this lasts between 24 up to 72 hours. Now, fasting has been with us for many centuries, mainly through religion. Or modern times it's been used as an intervention for certain diseases. But what we're seeing now is it's shifting to the fitness community, and more people are diving into water fast as a tool to facilitate extra weight loss. Now, in terms of the research, there hasn't been an abundance of research done on humans, but what we have seen in a few that have been done is there are correlations to show benefit on weight loss. It's also had a positive impact on blood pressure, and it's also helped people with rheumatoid arthritis. However, with most things in this field, there's been a lot more testing completed on rats and mice as opposed to humans, and test results in those species show a lot more data. In controlled studies using rats and mice, researchers have found positive correlations between fasting and slowing down the aging process. They've also showed a positive correlation between the treatment and prevention of diabetes. They've also shown lower risk of CHD as well as lower BMIs. And obviously a lot of this research has been completed on separate species, so you have to interpret that information really carefully. Obviously we are different, although there are a lot of similarities. Obviously we are a little bit different. Now, if you're intrigued by the water fast, a slightly less intense version of the water fast and something you can implement daily, which is sustainable, is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting comes in many forms. The most common example being a small eating window followed by a much longer fasting window where you would consume only water for that period of time. The most common time frames that people use are generally a 16-hour closed window when you focus on your water intake, and using the remaining 8 hours to take in all of your daily calories. Research has shown that the positivity around water fasting and the positive results of intermittent fasting are closely linked, so there's not necessarily one that's better than the other. Data is very close in both. So when choosing one or the other, it's not necessarily you have to choose which one you feel is going to be better, just more so which one you feel you can fit into your lifestyle, if any at all. Now, if you do decide to go in on a water fast or even early stages of intermittent fasting, what can you expect? Well, 100% you're going to feel tired almost instantly. You're going to be running out of fuel very quickly. So be prepared to feel a little sluggish, a little bit slower than normal. You may develop a metallic taste in the mouth. That's fairly common. Dizziness, nausea, and hunger naturally. Now, in terms of who shouldn't be fasting, if you're under the age of 18, if you're currently underweight, pregnant, you have any medical conditions such as diabetes, essentially if you have any conditions that take you outside of standard population, 100% you shouldn't be looking to take part in a water fast or intermittent fasting, at least before seeking medical advice before you make that decision. So guys, to wrap it up, water fasting sounds really cool. The research that's been done in controlled studies of rats and mice, the results look incredible. And if those pass on to humans and we can see that more clearly, then it's looking more and more positive for the adoption of a water fast or an intermittent fast. That said, at this stage, the research isn't conclusive. A lot more research and study has to be done into this field. So it's over to you, really. If you want to introduce water fasting or intermittent fasting into your lifestyle, I would recommend that you read the research that's out there. Number one, gain good understanding. Understand what you're going to put your body through, the side effects, the risks, etc. If you're still feeling positive about it, speak to your doctor. Let them know your plans and what you're trying to do. Make sure they're with you and they can support you through that journey. And if you decide to give it a go, document it. Share with us what you've been doing. Share your feelings, how you got on right out there, and more people can gain maybe a little more understanding of what fasting really is. As always guys, it's not about my opinion, it's about the research. So below in the bio will be a couple of links to some studies that I've read. If you want to take a look at them, again, read into the references of the references, you can end up going real deep into it. And 100% if you read even just a couple of those, you're going to gain a much better understanding of what fasting and intermittent fasting actually is and how it may or may not benefit your body. So check it out.